because it only comes back to not getting another chance because I'm 5'9".
Right.
At the end of the day, that's all it is. Because if I was 6'1", they would give me every chance to fail.
Yeah.
But I'm 5'9", you don't, that's what happens when you're 5'9". You don't
have that room for error.
You don't. So even when I'm working out, 10 and 11, 10 out of 12, I don't have room to miss.
Yeah, see.
I don't have room to miss no open shots.
Right.
I don't have room for a guy to shoot a fadeaway on me from 17 feet and he make it.
Yeah.
And they say I'm a defensive liability. But when he makes it over a 6'5" guy, it's like, oh, good shot.
Right. So the defensive liability thing, because we hear that, I see the trolls say it, that we don't care about the casuals. But I'm saying, if in fact that is what GMs are thinking, I'm not on the inside like that. If in fact that is what they're thinking, where it's like, oh, he's a great scorer, he could be a spark.
Doctors who he's seen, all the doctors who've seen his images, all the people in his life, he's had multiple different agents in the last year. I'm sure he's talking to Floyd Mayweather about stuff like that. He's talking to other advisors in his life. He's talking to teammates. Everybody, I'm sure, has an opinion on what he should do. This is a very difficult decision, obviously, because different doctors have advised him to have surgery, and other doctors have advised him to not have surgery. He has not had surgery, and we are now 13 months off like 12 and a half months off the initial injury, and he is not better yet.
And Tracy, what's coming up this summer?
Free agency, man. This is cost him a lot of money. And, you know, going into the offseason, he's not coming back this season. Going into the offseason, it's like, do we give him a nice payday or we give him, you know, a one-year deal to see how he is?
I mean, we don't know if he's going to come back this season. Obviously, it doesn't look good.
Doesn't look
if he
good.
does have surgery and goes into his free agency and
This is like D Rose, man. Being on top, win MVP, and then it's just spiraling
D Rose
out.
got paid. He got his money.
Right.
You know.
From Adidas too.
You know, I mean, I feel bad what happened to D Rose, but D Rose got nine figures.
Right.
Isaiah has never gotten his big contract, and he deserved it.
Right.
These niggas gave up on me. They gave up on me.
How one decision ruined Isaiah Thomas' career. What's the reason he's bounced around after his Celtics days? What are general managers not seeing him now that they saw in him back then? Have they truly gave up on him? Heart over height is something huge in the NBA, as the average height is 6'7", but this has not stopped many players 6 feet and under from making the NBA. From Campazzo to Muggsy Bogues to Earl Boykins, Spudwebb to Nate Robinson, Isaiah Thomas is one of many. He averaged 29 points per game, but what's happened since then? Why has he not got the same love, and why has he bounced around the NBA? Hey guys, welcome to my channel, The Road Is Yours. If you like more videos like this, please like down below and I'll look to get them out to you weekly. Thank you guys for watching, and let me get back to the video. What's up, y'all? So after watching the Isaiah Thomas interviews and seeing his situation over the past couple years, I felt like I really had to speak on this topic and make a video. So when I say that one decision ruined Isaiah Thomas' career, I don't mean that his career is over, because I really think he does have the talent to play in the NBA. I feel like that he can definitely compete, and he has a skill set, and he has the offensive weapons to be able to compete in the NBA and get a roster spot once again. But I do feel like that one decision he made still haunts him to this day. And the decision he made, I feel like everyone knows, of course. The decision to not take the 4-year, $80 million contract in 2017. Now, when I look back on this contract and this situation, I really feel that IT made a mistake here. You know, heart over height has always been something IT's had to overcome, in my opinion. But I feel like he let his feelings get mixed in with business. I just really don't think that's something you should ever do. And Isaiah Thomas, he just felt slighted by the contract and he just decided not to sign it. And I really just don't get why his agent would let him not sign it. And I know he's had multiple agents since this incident and everything like that. And I can completely understand, because what Isaiah Thomas didn't realize at the time is that not signing this contract basically put his career on a down spiral. Ever since then, he's bounced around after his Boston Celtics days. Teams haven't kept him for longer than a year, and he wonders why. And I think the reason why is because by not taking the large contract and the $80 million, he now was on minimum deals. See, to an owner, $80 million is a way bigger investment than $5 million. When the player signs for $80 million, a team wants a return on investment. You know, they want to play in minutes, they want jersey sales, they want ticket sales, they want him to be an all-star, they want his name to be out there so they can make more money off of him. Because I know these players don't think about it like this, but they are products. And owners do want return on what they invest in a product. But if you only sign for the minimum deal, $1 million to $5 million, yes, you do feel like, oh, I just signed for 1 year minimum and I can just come back next year and then earn the contract. No. The only people that have ever done that are probably, in recent memory, are LeBron. And that's LeBron James. Even LeBron James' 1 year deals were not 5 year deals. His 1 year deals were like $30 million. So a team was still giving a lot of money and investing in LeBron for 1 year. It's not the same. And IT just miscalculated everything, because by taking those minimum deals, teams now can nitpick and be like, oh, well, you know what? We don't like this about you. We're going to waive you, because it's only $5 million that they're losing. However, if it's $80 million, teams can't nitpick. It's the other way around. You have the leverage. That contract is basically your safety net. Look at Russell Westbrook. I'm not saying Russell Westbrook is bad in any means. Don't take that in any way or any disrespect. Russell Westbrook, John Wall. Let's go to John Wall first. John Wall was injured for 2 years, but his lump sum of money in his contract caused teams to not be able to waive him, because by waiving him, they'd have to buy out his contract. And that's a lot of money a team would have to just give away. So therefore, they had to invest in John Wall and give him starters minutes. Because in the NBA, a lot of your minutes have to do with your contract and how big your contract is for most of the time. And by John Wall having this contract, it basically gave him the security of playing a lot of minutes. Or if he was traded, he's going to end up on the roster. As long as John Wall has his contract, he will play and he will be on the roster. And the same thing with Russell Westbrook. No matter how bad Russell Westbrook can play, and I know he's starting to do better now, but no matter how bad he was playing at his worst in LA, the Lakers knew that they either had to find someone to put up with his contract in the trade, or therefore they had to put up with him themselves, because his contract was just too lucrative for them to just be able to waive him and buy him out. And this is something Isaiah Thomas gave up by not signing his contract, and many other players have done it too. And I know Isaiah Thomas believes that it's his height, but I really don't believe it's his height, because he has someone like Carmelo. Once Carmelo got off that big deal from the Knicks that they gave him, he's been bounced around the league and out the league ever since. And it's not because he's blackballed. It's because he's on a minimum deal. So teams no longer have to put up with any of your antics or any of your weaknesses. Teams no longer have to put up with, because now you're on a minimum deal. So they can just cut you loose, because $1 million or $5 million is not that much to a team compared to $80 million. Think about it. If you had $1,000 and you spent $5 on some food, you wouldn't really think about it. But if you spent $80, then you'd kind of blink an eye at it. You'd kind of be looking at it like, hey, that's how it is. These billionaires, there's 80 million, there's 5 million. Which one is more of an investment to them? So I think Isaiah Thomas definitely has the talent to get back in the league, and I really hope he does get back in the league. But the whole situation in Boston, with him having the hip injury and him turning down the contract knowing that he just came off a torn hip surgery, which definitely is something that can affect his play style due to him needing mobility and needing to be one of the most agile people on the court. It definitely was just missed timing, and I don't see how his agent let him sign it. And I don't think his agent did let him sign it, which is why he's had many agents after. But I wish the best to Isaiah Thomas, but I do feel that free agency decision in 2017 was definitely one that possibly ruined his career.